What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Universim Season 4, the final release of the Universim 1.0. So straight in there to the expedition camp that we're using. I am noticing a few things different about that. It seems a lot easier than it did before, and also we do get a lot deeper than we've ever got before with just 10 nuggets, so I'm guessing that's a lot easier. Before we get into the game, though, I obviously want to thank you all for your support for the first 2 episodes.
Well, I can't.
Apologies I couldn't go live yesterday,
but
I did the 2 episodes, so kind of sorry for that. Views are nice and the likes are nice too, with plenty of comments, so thank you very much. Please do continue to share, subscribe, and comment where you can to let me know what you want me to kind of work on. Obviously, for now, Universim is going to be the priority for the channel, certainly going into the new ages and stuff. Names will be added as requests. I've had one already that's already been added to the pre-game, so you'll see that as soon as it comes up. Any additional names will also be included along the way too. Highlanders are the only ones I'm going to name to try and keep you alive for as long as possible, but if you don't want to be a Highlander, you'll have to let me know, and as soon as we get the clone tower, as before, I will do replicas of whatever you request. So currently now we are building some parks, right? Not parks, massage parlours. These are the recreation buildings, really, and I'm just scattering about, nice and small, nice and easy to do. They all help with crime, happiness, etc. So I just want to make sure we spread that around. This planet likes fires, by the way, so you'll always see a forest fire in the background. I get bored of putting them out because it just uses creator points. So you'll probably notice them in the background, but I'm just ignoring them. But no big deal. So far we have seen quite a few different things for this release. Good changes, bad changes. There are some coming up, and I'll wait until we get there to actually mention them. So far nobody's commented on the walking tree. I'm not sure if you've had that or not. So that was in the first episode, I believe. Still no idea what that means or does. But we'll have to wait and see. Currently, I'm now going to look at what's next. Now, we are in the middle of winter, so it all looks quite white and crappy. You know I'm not a fan of the winter visuals. In terms of it's just too white for me. It is realistic and very good graphics, but I prefer it to be like any of the other 3 months. It's just easier on the eyes. So making sure we get these resources out now. We can see down at the bottom, the wooden planks and wood is quite low. Storage is good, and the iron ingots are good, but we'll need to look at making sure, because obviously the iron ingots we use for upgrading, and you need them for the farm there. So there's a lot of upgrading to do and a lot of things to catch up on, so let's push forward through that and see what we can do. Getting some more farms put in now to get that food up. You can see the food's reasonably low. Population is booming, and it's going to just blow up. Anyway, thank you, Bird, for that interruption. So yeah, it's just going to blow up. So I want to make sure that we have the food and people don't start starving to death. Farms are the best way to do that. Without the cattle farms, of course, they're just, well, they're better actually because they continue through winter. And the garrison, or what is now the hunting lodge, are also good because they go through winter as well. Fishing wise, we're doing quite well. I've only got 2 actually, which is a lot lower than I normally would have at this point. And then the forecast tower is going in there to allow us to look for disasters coming in, because we did get one cheeky tornado. So that noise, as you know, is the sound of a UFO coming in. So let's go and find them. And yet this is another new situation for me. And no, I know that noise and a UFO coming in is not new. We've had this many times in previous series and episodes. What's new and different is that it's not one UFO. That cloud seems to be where they come from. I'm not 100% sure, because I just assumed that this was it. But no, there is 3. There is 3 UFOs coming in, and there is 3 UFOs we need to knock out the sky. So here's number 2 coming in straight after. Double tap that one with the lightning, no issue. And there's number 3 going down right behind the first one that we took down. Still easy, but... And then the 3 boxers back to the epicenter to be researched. Meanwhile, the volcano is erupting. And yes, It's a bit more brutal. I really wouldn't want to be that mammoth there. But the Volcano is a bit more aggressive than it was previously, or I'm imagining it. But you'll see coming up, there's a few more expectations, or violations, that's a better word, that the Volcano takes. And you can see we're quite far through that dark brown area there for the expedition. It's the furthest I've ever got before, but it is a totally different path as well, if you notice. It used to bend to the right and come into the left, and now it's going to the left and coming into the right. So, not sure what changes they've made, but it certainly seems easier to get further down. I'm not sure what happens when your nuggets make it to the lava core, right, because that can't do them any good. But we'll have to wait and see. More buildings falling down, which means more engineering huts. And with that beginning research done, we can now move into the medieval era, or the medieval age, taking us through to electricity, and then, of course, picking that, like I suggested in the episodes previously. No one said anything, so I am going to be going for wind energy and lightly solar energy. We've still got time if somebody wants the solar to be the nuclear. Just let me know in the comments before I get there. But yeah, the wind energy is already past. Obviously, this is post-editing, and I've already got past that stage now. Okay, so there is a mysterious glowing red barn appeared from absolutely nowhere. With it comes some cool looking druid type nuggets. I'm not entirely sure. I've tried everything, as you can see. Lightning, pick it up, rain, love, various different spells. Nothing happens, so it will. Don't worry, we will get an answer for it, but at this minute in time I had no clue. So you can see I'm being very cautious, but at the same time I'm just poking it to see what happens next. And for those of you that are yet to actually see it in action, here are the druid type cult leaders, or whatever they are. That one's swearing at me, of course. Can't do anything. I don't know if I can lightning it. I think I do try, actually, and it doesn't do anything. So for now, you've just got to wait until it actually goes into the cutscene that it does. Yeah, I do try. Yeah, they're immune. Okay, here's the volcano, and looking a bit more aggressive. The right-hand side there looks like it could almost be a lava trail, although it's not coming down the mountain. It could just be how it's burning. I've got no idea. But it certainly throws out a lot more of those destructive balls. There's fires everywhere. It just looks more aggressive to me. So far, so good, though. It's not actually caused any damage to my city, village, or nuggets. But it does have potential. I'm not sure how it's going to go on for. But yeah, that looks a little bit to me like a lava or a magma stream. So I'm doing that again, and that being bunkers. Just nice, spread around. I'm not doing any math to it, to be honest. They hold quite a lot. But even when you put more down than they need, most of the nuggets still find other things to do and they don't actually want to go in there. So it's fine. I just want to get some down so that at least some nuggets can survive. We're not going to have like a Armageddon, so to speak, where we lose everybody. But in most cases, I don't actually use the bunkers. I use it for the heat wave thing, where everything sets on fire. I use it for the opposite, the deep freeze, where everything freezes. And maybe a meteor. But for the volcano, locusts, tornadoes, there's no point. Because they're either mitigated by other means, or like the volcano, it's just too unpredictable and it lasts too long. Okay, so we have researched electricity, which means we're getting Tesla's Quandary, the quest to insta-build a battery. Nice and simple. You find the 3 parts, you put the 3 parts in the battery, strike it with lightning, and quest is complete. We've done that enough times, so I don't need to go through it. On all of the other seasons, there is it's shown anyway. And there we go, all 3 parts delivered, so the battery insta-builds, and strike it with lightning, and quest complete. What I did notice is, although you need 3 parts, there is more than 3 parts on the map, or certainly my map, which is the largest planet. I saw at least 5, but when you collect the 3, it disappears. And there we go, we've researched and confirmed we are doing wind energy first, and then straight into the Tudor architecture, and rushing through to government.
You have chosen to preserve the planet instead of draining all of its resources? I see you have an eye for the future, even if it takes longer to reach.
So the secrets are answered with the magic barn. It goes into a random cutscene, and I was in the process of building a windmill, as you can see. So I'll try and keep that out of the way for your viewing pleasure. And mine, actually, when I was watching it, because it's the first time for me too. So these 5, is it? 5 random cool monk things walk over to another area and build yet another building. Can you guess what it is yet? No spoilers. Surprise, it's a rocket that NASA used many times on a mobile platform that NASA used quite a lot of times as well. I skipped out the bit in between to let you find that out for yourself. There's no talking or anything, but it's just them building it. And then they rocket off to outer space. Seemingly no explanation at all. Or is there? Because we do know that there is a storyline now, part of 1.0. So I'm guessing we have to go to space to find them and figure out what that storyline may be. Now I'm back to where I was putting down my windmills, and I'm a bit discombobulated because I don't know what to do. But off to space they go, and I'm guessing we may meet up with them at some point. There's the moon in the background. Can't see any planets yet, but I'm expecting the observatory finds them for us. Similar to other games like Oxygen Not Included, where you can't see them until you've found them. Another giant forest fire there I'm going to deal with, but I'm not dealing with all of them because it's just too many. And that's it. So the barn itself, just looking for it now. You can't rebuild it because it's an unknown building. So I'm going to click salvage. It doesn't say you get anything from it, but I'm going to click that just in case. And then for the actual launch pad, you can see there over to the top left, it's just a building that disappears. You can't do or get anything from that. So we have windmills working now, and power is coming in. I really would like to have put them all over the mountain, a bit more realistic, like around the top of the mountain, but you cannot build there, unfortunately. So around the bottom of the mountain is as close as I can get. I could build more, but it's just unnecessary at the minute. We're not using enough power for it to benefit us, and I need to make sure that the resources are used for the other buildings and upgrades. Currently, you can see the bricks are very, very low. And all of the upgrades coming up are going to require those, so I'm only going to use or build things that are necessary, or they're not using that resource in the first place. Now, barrack-wise, I am going to build them to do some military, just to make sure there's no achievements or new things or old things or whatever. And I'm going to put 3 down there, same as I did last time, to have an army of 30. These are just the standard Rangers infantry units. And they'll only have the upgrades if I get them. They've already got crossbows, but they won't get the guns yet because I haven't unlocked gunpowder. Over to the right, you can see there is an exile. I need to wipe them out. We will start that ASAP because building over there now is just going to pee them off anyway. So before they attack us, I want to wipe them out. Just bring you in for one of my moments where I like to just stand at a junction and watch the people, nuggets, go by, doing their various different things, going for food, water, to do some loving, or deliver resources, or maybe even to die. Who knows? I mean, I could click on them and find out. We're not going to do that because there's too many of them. But nevertheless, it's interesting to watch them just people watching, they call it, right? Though we'll call it nugget watching.
An ailment of explosive nature.
And you can see that the nuggets are starting to drink from the lake again, which means the drinking water is down again. Now, I have put a lot of reservoirs around, but it's still not enough. Everybody seems to want a drink in the town centre, and if they can't, they will go to the lake. There are some research upgrades, so I'm going to have to look into them, I think, to see if we can increase the efficiency and speed of the water processing, but also try and reduce the amount of water that the nuggets need. So, as I mentioned, I need to move forward for the building area, and the Exile Camp is in my way. They're too close, or we're too close to them, however you want to put it, and they did indeed send a tornado our way. Didn't do any damage. Well, it knocked one building down, but I used the shields to block it. And then I dropped a meteor on top of them, which broke the shield. And in doing so, allowed me to do what I've just done, and use a lightning bolt to take out their temple, and use to wipe out their civilization. Now, I don't have enough points to wipe it out properly, and unfortunately they will keep rebuilding until you get rid of all of them. So I don't know if it's best to use, but for now they can't do spells while they don't have their temple, so I think we're safe. Just looking at what we're going to take next, we're going to go for prison. So the science of order, and then continue through to engineering. But I just want to clear up all of these little bits. If you remember, this was where the military was in the last game, and there was quite a lot of research all in the same rows that you had to finish. But they've spread it out a bit better. So it's
enforcing the law is going to take a lot more than words.
to get used to. Also, a change that I've noticed is the wolf attacks. If you click on the bell, it takes you to the wolves that are attacking. It didn't used to do that. Now, I don't have enough points for lightning, so instead what I am doing is using telekinesis to pick up the wolves and drop them from space. They splat on the floor and they're dead, and that's great. Didn't have enough for this very last wolf, but it got wiped out by our hunting party anyway. So no dramas there. Everybody survived, and all the wolves didn't. And I'm assuming we get quite a bit of food from that as well. Just finishing putting down the law enforcement or police stations from where I'm from. I'm not putting loads down because they don't seem to... Well, they don't have a radius. So as long as there's some to deal with the criminals, I'm not too worried. The hospitals and eateries I'm more interested about being spread about as best I can. Now, I know the hospitals I'm a bit behind on, so I will fix that. But eateries and the other things I've done quite well this time, I believe. We'll have to wait and see how it actually ends for us, obviously how long this planet lasts, but resource-wise and getting the nuggets what they need should be sorted. So just popping over here now, you can see that the cement factory is getting close to being finished. As soon as that is, we'll be producing cement, which means we can finish them 3 barracks. All they require is cement. To continue, the rest of the things, it's bricks. You can see in the bottom, 13. We need 347 bricks. So that is quite insane. It is going to be one of these moments where I'm just going to leave it alone and make sure nobody dies, but just let the resources stack up so that it makes better video. But before we go there, I just want to get you updated on that. So cement factory's down and get the barracks up and running. I have gone round and done the quest for the courier huts and got a couple of those down. Not as many as I normally would yet, but I will get round to that. Minister of Energy is unlocked. I'm ignoring it on purpose because I don't want them to chuck batteries and windmills willy-nilly anywhere they want. Although they are not going to cause any CO2 or resource demand, they will cause resource demand in the fact of building them. And as you've seen with the amount of bricks we need, which is 350-ish, and the wood, the planks is around the same, 300-ish, I'd rather the resources go to them actual buildings. So you can see here, this is one of our stone refineries. We have 3 of these, and they are really struggling. So I need to put a couple more down to try and get that negative, net negative out, and get all of the buildings that are currently in the queue. And I think there's about 25 buildings in an upgrade queue. So there we go. Over here, just found a nice little spot that wasn't being bothered by anything. So that is 2 stone refineries. Chuck down a engineer's hut and a fire station next to them, and likely I'll chuck down 1 wood factory as well, a wood refinery, just to get the planks, though the planks seem to be holding at the minute. It's the bricks that we're really struggling for. But nevertheless, I want to make sure that we keep on top of that. As soon as we get to that stage where you no longer need the bricks and the planks, I think definitely the bricks, but I'm not sure about the planks, I'll actually rip them all down and get the nuggets doing other jobs. Just use the space for eateries or hospitals or whatever. But when we don't need bricks, I'll get rid of them. And again with the poison corpses right next to our beautiful pyramid there. There is only 1 so far. Again, you get that as soon as you get to the medieval age. As long as you are registered, signed up at the beginning, at the start, as I've shown in previous series. All you need to do is log in. Don't cost anything, and you get the pyramid unlocked for you immediately. So as it stands, our town is looking good. There are quite a lot of sick nuggets, and I'll go through now and get them healed up as best I can. Remember, we are on Highlanders, so we need to make sure that the infected nuggets stay away from our Highlanders. At the minute, I've only got 1 that is named, so please do put in the comments if you want one named. This season and or series is liable to go on a lot longer than the others because of the exploration in space. So I'll see if I can get somebody to 1,000. At the minute, the record is, I think, 480, which was Soul Rim from Season 3. with that note, we are at time, so thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. As always, any comments are welcome. Subscribe for more. Take care. Goodbye.